What's happening?
What's good with you, Sauce Twins?
Too tall.
Too short.
Hey, we ain't even left.
Hey.
We been here.
Yeah, we have been here. Basically, like 2 minutes ago. We got Jason on today. Jason Kampinga.
What's up, Jason?
Hey, making sure that I'm saying his name right now.
Kampinga.
Yeah, Kampinga. Now this is over my education. Okay, now I only got my bachelor's now. Jason Kampinga is a sports psychology consultant, founder of Parabellum Performance.
Yes, sir.
All right, now you have your master's in.
I'm 6 weeks. I'll have my master's in sports psychology.
Hey, shout out,
Congrats,
shout out
bro.
to that for real. Continued education. Oh yeah, we gotta speak right in that thing. Hey, so Jason, now you play ball at ACU?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Okay,
Abilene Christian University.
I gotta sneeze.
Sneeze, my brother.
All right, so Jason played ball at ACU. Now you played fullback or what?
Fullback.
Okay, cool. And now you've been incorporating the psychology training kind of aspect to sports and athletes for a while now. Like, when did you really feel like you wanted to get into this, and why?
So I always realized that there was something deeper behind performance with behavior, the impact of society, the way you grew up. There's so many variables that make a great athlete, and it was something that I always wanted to study. My bachelor's, so my bachelor's is in kinesiology, but my minor was in sports psychology. And when I got out of college, I always felt like there was still something I wanted to study. I couldn't really put my finger on it yet. What makes great athletes? What makes great athletes do dumb things? What makes an underdog come up and become a champion? Like, why does this happen? What is it? Is it the mental side? Is it physical? And so I just went, back to school and wanted to learn. Got deep in the research, and just while everyone's talking, I'm reading, and started finding the answers, started picking up patterns, and kind of what I saw was, man, I picked up some habits without even realizing it that I can help others with, and kind of changed my career of being egotistical and focus on my own career and myself of, man, you can help people with people that, don't have that mental strength, don't have that resilience to overcome. So while I was going to school, I created Parabellum Performance, and through that process, I was rehabbing a pretty serious reconstructive knee surgery, and I saw the ups and downs emotionally where, man, like, I have trouble walking. I've never had trouble walking before, I have trouble getting out of bed. My girlfriend has to feed me and, take my urine tube out and drain it and everything. And I was just like, man, I've never felt so weak before. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, that go through that process, they learn that, man, it's your character. You learn your character when you're going up and down. You get those attributes of just the changes. So for me, I wanted to know what those labels are. Yeah. So the difference between mental strength, physical conditioning, and then emotional resilience. So facing adversity, overcoming obstacles.
So what's the topic then, E? So what we
talking about?
So what do we call that? We talking about the clutch gene?
The clutch gene. Can you train someone to have a clutch gene?
Can you really? Like, because of course we have our opinion, right, on the clutch gene and what you consider the clutch gene, the dog, whatever you want to consider. Hold on now. Let me go back. The clutch gene and the dog ain't the same thing. Okay, I'm going to separate those.
But you gotta have the dog in order to have the clutch gene.
I feel some people get away without having the dog.
Rarely.
I don't think the clutch gene and the dog is the same thing.
It's not the same.
All right, so let's break it down to what it is.
Man, let me think of an athlete. Because I've seen some a little bit. It depends. We talk about the sport, right? I just seen somebody, quote unquote, have a clutch gene in basketball, and they ain't really no dog. They didn't hit a game winner or something like that. We talked about there's some luck into hitting the basketball shot at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, in basketball, it's more likely. Right? It's more likely for someone that doesn't have the dog to hit. But in that situation, are you going to give the ball to that person that doesn't have?
Maybe they was the only one open after the screen.
Well, then there you have it. that person that doesn't have the dog.
Leadership qualities,
It's leadership.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Yeah,
because if you're the alpha on the team, you're gonna have an opportunity for that leadership role, and the team's gonna give it to you, or you're gonna take it from the team, or no one from the team wants to give it to you, and you got to shine by yourself on the team.
Man, I wonder. Now I know some guys on my college team that just weren't leaders, but they were dogs, and they were clutch. They just wasn't leading. Now they just wasn't leaders on the team, but they was clutch.
And they had the dog.
And they had that dog.
Well, you can be an example
in a different with a different type of leader. Maybe
there's different leaders.
There are. I guess if you on the court or the field or whatever sport, I guess. If you're performing in a way, you're a leader. Huh?
In some way, because I'll say this, I wasn't the biggest talker on the field. Now I'm gonna talk trash. Yeah, I was talking trash.
He didn't talk in the locker room.
Yeah, in the locker room and stuff like that. I'm not really talking because my mindset is, I'm ready. Y'all better be ready. Y'all gonna see me out there do what I do.
Yeah,
that's how I am. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna smack this dude. Follow my lead.
Okay,
that's what I'm.
That's
what
a
I'm.
form of lead. Is what you're saying?
Yeah,
you're saying that's a form of leadership.
By example, because there's leaders that they don't need to talk.
Yeah,
they know they're putting in their work, and that confidence, that vibe pulls off to where, let's say that's a senior, a freshman is going to be like, man, that linebacker is just lifting weights, showing up every day, consistent.
Okay. Now, everybody going to know who I'm talking about right here, but I'm not going to say his name either on this one. But it is what it is. If you got a problem with it, holler at me. I know somebody who I would consider I don't know which one to go with it. Would you consider him having the dog and not the clutch gene? And he was a leader too. I would say he was a leader. I would say
he wasn't a dog.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay, somebody that can perform at a high level all the time. Leader, stats, everything you could ask for. Weight room, a monster. Field, monster. But when it came down to when stuff got hard and it was crunch time and the elements outside were ooh-wee.
Excuses.
Couldn't find him.
Yeah.
Nowhere to be found.
Is that you not having a dog, or are you not clutch?
Both.
Probably both in that situation.
In that situation, both.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead. What were you about to say?
So leadership is 80% leading yourself.
Okay.
It's an example.
Give us the
I want to know.
Give us the textbook.
I need the knowledge.
Hey, give us the textbook on it. Now you say leadership is 80% leading yourself.
80% leading yourself. I mean, you can have a title of CEO or manager, but that's a noun. Mm-hmm. Leading is a verb. It's an action.
Okay, yeah.
You're creating. There's a difference between having the title of I'm your boss.
Yeah.
Then there's the verb of I'm telling people what to do. I'm leading, showing by example. I'm showing up before you show up.
Yeah.
And I'm staying while you're leaving.
Yeah.
Then there's creating leaders underneath you.
Okay.
And that's the weird outlier level of that 1% of the 1% of the 1%, where you're creating leaders underneath you.
Okay.
That senior that's leaving and going to college and high school, he's appointing, that backup linebacker, that backup quarterback, that backup receiver
culture.
To step up underneath them. Yeah,
right.
Culture. Community. I mean, that's what teams are. You're spending time together.
Yeah.
You're creating those bonds. You're creating that communication, that support's there. Naturally, there's a hierarchy. Just from an evolutionary point of view, you're going to have someone that's the alpha.
Yeah.
It's going to be one. It's the coach, and then underneath that, the coach can appoint someone, but not every time that the team is going to accept that guy as the alpha.
Right.
There's going to be maybe that quiet one that's breaking the weightlifting records.
Yeah.
And knocking people's helmets off,
I know we got off topic, y'all. We're going to get back on. Hey, my bad. But, so from Jason's background, so what you're saying is you telling us right now that you can train that dog.
Okay, so to answer your question, Yes and no.
Don't be giving me. Hey, can you train the dog or not? Because I ain't never seen no half dog, half not. Yes or no?
That's true.
You can't give me. Can you train it or not?
So I mean, we're in a gym right now. So when kids come in, you're changing behavior. You're gonna push them towards something. You're making them better. So if it was no, you can't train it, then there's be no need for coaches, for trainers, because we would just have a high level of athletes. That's it.
I think that happens.
The reason why you can train aspects of the dog is like what I said earlier with mental resilience. You can teach mental strength to someone who has the potential to be a dog through physical conditioning. Let's line up. Let's break them. Let's break their mind.
Okay.
Over a period of time, they're going to step up and they're going to show attributes of their character that they've never shown before.
Okay.
They've never expressed.
Okay.
Before.
So what I'm hearing is that now I'm taking you back to where you also say you have that alpha dog. So you saying right now there are levels to this dog. Now we ain't never talked about it now. Yeah. I only know one kind of dog. The one that one speed. Hey, you heard it. Hey, only talking about one kind of dog. I only know one species dog. So there's
different types of dogs.
So it's different types of dogs?
There's dimensions of dogs.
Dimensions. He talking in different languages. What you mean as a different dimension of dog? So as you saying is if you can change the behavior and you can like increase the fortitude and just the will, you giving them a level of that dog.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be a drastic change. It could be a little detail of even motivation, words changing their inner chatter from negative and self-destructive to positive. So a good example of that is Deontay Wilder, physical specimen. He's a freak boxer, but when he was a young child, his grandma always told him, "You're special, you're different, you're special." And that over time, that grew something within his cognition to where when he's fighting for himself. He's not fighting for the money. He's not fighting for fame. I'm sure that's part of it and an external kind of drive for it. But the intrinsic motivation was planted as a child.
Yeah.
And that's why that development from infant to child to adolescent to adult.
It was planted from a child all the way to this day.
This day.
Okay.
So what about the athlete that you're trying to teach them to have the dog or trying to train these attributes? But how do you get them to turn that on when they're not with you, when it's game time?
Because
here is controlled. Right, I can control
push you. Yeah.
And I can fix it how I kind of want to fix it.
Yes, this has been a topic.
But out there is live action. Nobody's there to tell you what to do or how to react or whatever the case is. How do you get them to turn that on then?
So that's called free will. Free will. If they want it, I mean, I'm sure you have kids that come in that don't have the talent, but they want it so bad. They're going to stay late. They're going to ask you questions.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They're going to be like, what can I do? And you're just talking to them. Those kids, it's I mean, we got to break it down to an individual, though. If we're generalizing, it's going to be very hard to get specifics. But let's say you have a kid who is right there. He's about to break through. You can help him break through and get a partial scholarship or something.
Yeah.
But like you said, at home, you have to want it at home. You have to be at home doing your abs, stretching, doing the things, waking up on Saturday morning early, running sprints, going on the track by yourself, not texting your friends, hey, do you want to come to the gym with me? Those people aren't going to make it. That's the alpha.
Hey.
And I think I mean, you can break it down to, is it genetic? Is it environment? Is it, the parents have to be together? Or is it just the mom? Is it just from the father? And the thing is, the answer is we don't know. Psychology is about predicting behavior and understanding it. And right now we can't do that yet, but we're very close to understanding it.
So
that's why we'll be asking.
So what I'm hearing is, what we know is that, or what I think, what you're also saying is that inner chatter really is like the X factor for the X factor. The way it's like, it's the piece that separates, that inner chatter is the piece that separates that dog from somebody with all that talent that really ain't got it is what they, that what you said it's the batter to the.
Yeah.
This boy here, listen
Michael
to
Jordan,
him.
Kobe Bryant, they don't talk to themselves negative. They're like, I'm the man here. I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
And it's you got to have that mentality, and whether you fake it before you make it, or whether you work on it consistently, it's the time variable.
Yeah.
If you have a kid who's been told he's a phenom from a kid, as an adult, he's not gonna think he's a phenom. He's gonna know he's a phenom. But if you have a kid that comes in here that's 20 years old, who's hesitant, like I want to be a phenom, it's gonna be not as much of an impact, and it's gonna take maybe a little bit longer.
And I'm gonna just throw this out there too. This is just what I believe. I don't believe you can just be a dog in athletics. Like if you a dog in athletics and you a chump in algebra, you a chump.
Real talk.
I'm gonna just say that. Like, I wasn't the best in math, like in high school, but like I was attempting to be a dog trying to learn it. I'm just telling you, like, if you a dog in everything.
Aspects, in all aspects of life.
Like,
that's talking work ethic. Yeah. So you're gonna apply, wanting to learn new things. So let's say you hate not knowing things, so you're gonna do your own research.
Yes.
You're gonna learn an instrument. You're gonna teach yourself. You're gonna go online and watch videos. You're gonna dig deep into the research.
Yeah.
So that's an internal motivator. No one's forcing someone to do that.
Yeah.
You can give someone all the tips, all the advice they want. You can bring them here, do a kettlebell certification, Olympic certification, do all the recovery therapies. But if they don't go home and they don't really want it, and that's what I think the definition of a dog is they want it regardless, No
matter what.
Yeah, no matter what. Injury.
Yeah, that dog.
That dog, bro.
Yeah, man, man, we can just talk about
And it's connected to ego. It's connected to ego.
Talk to me now. You keep going off into these different dimensions now. What is you talking about? How's it connected?
The other day, got a big ego. Being prideful in what you're doing.
So,
here we go. Hey, I am. I'll say I'm prideful. Say what you want.
But you gotta have that though. I feel like you gotta have it.
It's what it is self-respect. You gotta have respect for yourself.
What hen dog at? Tell hen dog again. What is self-respect?
Don't do it to him.
Hey, they was in here talking noise because I said I was prideful. I think every man is prideful.
Absolutely,
you have to be to survive.
Absolutely.
Feed yourself. Take care
now.
of your family.
I gotta feed my family, me and my wife, and my dogs.
I hear you.
Hey,
I hear you now.
Hey, take us in them different dimensions, boy.
I can't mess with him.
Oh man, hey,
I can't mess with him.
So look, today was good, cause today, I'm gonna
open my eyes to some things.
Hey, I'm gonna agree that there are different levels of that dog. Okay.
There's some athletes that only bring the dog out in certain situations.
Now I will say that now I do know a few athletes that don't train like they got the dog, but boy, when they get in their element, they on that court or whatever the case may be, they a dog. And I see now. I know I said what I said a while ago. Now
you a chump. He said you a chump.
I did, and I believe that.
But they a dog on that.
But they a dog on that court. But hey, if I have any challenge for anybody watching today, this topic, this discussion, this not just for sports. This not just for athletics. Man, like I said, you need to, what E.T. was talking about, he cannot be E.T. when he's speaking and motivating people, then he go home to his wife and he can't wash the clothes. Like, he don't know how to make the clothes smell good. That boy studied his wife and how she washed the clothes and then beat her to it and washed all the clothes and they was smelling good. And he said, ain't no way I can be great out there and be average at home. Mm-hmm. So I think,
that's that self-respect and that honesty of, if you want to be the dog, you can't fake it. There's no the eye in the sky doesn't lie, right?
So, boy,
there ain't no fake dogs out there.
Yeah, no. You can spot them.
Yeah. Right.
Easily.
Yeah, you can. Spot them. Yeah, you can. But hey, if I can challenge y'all today is to find an area in your life where you're not a dog. Find that area. and work on your inner chatter. Y'all hear me going into these dimensions. Find your inner chatter, all right? Find that self-respect, okay, to push yourself. Hey, I'm spitting, I'm regurgitating right now. I'm
listening.
Spitting it out, boy.
I hear you.
Going hard. All right. Hey, we just want to thank Jason today for coming on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Man, I think this is needed now. You know, I'm seeing a swing in the way people are training, and we're not just training physically anymore. I was checking you guys out, and there's a lot of mental training and psychology training, I guess you would call it, that's going on, performance. And I think it's important.
Yeah, I think it's needed.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with social media now, and everyone's way more connected, communicating. We're seeing everyone. People, you know, young kids are looking at Instagram and seeing highlights. And right now, I mean, just with the research coming out, it's the social factor is more significant now than it's ever been.
I can see it.
Absolutely.
I can see it. But hey, so it's Parabellum Performance.
Parabellum Performance.
All right.
Sir.
Hey, Instagram or what?
Instagram. My first last name, Jason Kampinga. My website, parabellumperformance.com.
Okay.
Facebook. I have a Parabellum Performance page.
Okay. Hey man, y'all make sure
reach out, ask questions.
Yes. Holler at him. Y'all got a question about how you can get into these different dimensions?
To people about this. I can't keep it inside, you know what I mean?
Hey, he trying to take you into different dimensions. All right.
We're going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. Hey, but hey man, appreciate y'all. Hey, if y'all any questions, man, y'all chime in. Like if you have some experience with any of this stuff, or you have any questions about what this looks like for you, let us know, man. Hey, what
hashtag Ass Sauce Twins.
Hashtag Ass Sauce Twins, and they need to
subscribe.
What
y'all doing?
Hey, holler at us.
Huh?
What will you sacrifice to be great?